So, are you a crystal? Crystals are highly intuitive, incredibly sensitive. They are very psychic, so they will download information when they meet people. When a crystal meets somebody, they can often just immediately pick up personal information about that person's spiritual life and their life path, what's going on with them. Usually more of an emotional nature, they will tune right into the emotions of that person. Again, if you walk into a room and you can pick up the environment, you can sense energetically what's going on in that space. That's another characteristic of a crystal. Crystals often are very drawn to being vegetarian, vegan. A lot of crystals go the vegan path. Eating a diet of compassion, eating food with a compassion for other living beings would be high on the priority list of a crystal. Also being so sensitive and so in tune that we do not wish to ingest food that has fear in it, that has the negativity that goes with being slaughtered. When animals are killed, there's a lot of fear obviously around what's happening, and that stays in the body, in the carcass of the animal. So being so sensitive to substances, to environment, to energy, and food is energy, we don't wish to ingest that. We want to stay true to our crystalline vibration. We're called crystals because our energy field is highly sophisticated and is very like tweaked to a high frequency. So that means it's very fine, it's very pure, it picks up things. Now the challenge for crystals is that we are absorbers. So that's why we make brilliant healers, wonderful energy therapists, excellent teachers, nurses, caregivers. We are incredibly empathic, compassionate. We are feelers, that is what we do well. We're really good with energy, with emotions, with feelings. So, crystals will often be drawn to work and careers that involve caring, being compassionate, social workers, definitely caregivers. That's very strong with crystals. So the thing is, the challenge there is that we can often be so empathic, so able to feel the other person's feelings, that sometimes we can take on those feelings and carry them on our shoulders. We can often take on the weight of the world, so to speak, take on the troubles of other people, that other people's pain and negativity. We can often try to absorb it for them and carry it for them. And this is a big challenge for the crystals. So the theme, when I'm channeling, Shioga talks a lot about what the theme, they call it a theme, but we might call it a life's mission or purpose, in that as a crystal, we really struggle with staying physically in our own energy field and anchoring and being grounded in ourselves, in our physical body, without actually giving our power away and stepping into the person's feelings. Because it's so organic and natural for us to tune into other people, to tune into our environment, to tune into others, that we have a tendency to just do that automatically without actually checking in to see how we're feeling, to see how we're doing. We often forget about our own feelings. We often put our own needs and emotions way down the list because we're so interested. We genuinely have a natural interest and passion to see those around us, to see the rest of humanity thrive and grow and progress, because that really is part of our soul's purpose in incarnating here on Gaia, on planet Earth. The crystals came here to be healers, to be helpers, to help transmute and transform negative energy. We do give off a natural light. we carry a lot of light in our energy field, and as such we can often attract much darker energies, because the darkness will always be attracted to the light. The dark energies want to possess the light energies. So we can often attract people who will drain our energy vampires, you know, negative people who are really stuck on a loop of negativity and complaining and things like that, and then often quite even darker energies. So it's important that the crystal learn as early on as possible how to hold a positive space for themselves and create boundaries, because crystals are terrible with boundaries. You know, it doesn't come naturally to us to say no. It doesn't come naturally to us to feel our own alarm bells go off and to respect that, because we are so programmed to think of other people, we're so overly caring about other people's feelings that we're inclined to neglect our own at our own detriment. So that's a big theme, and if you find this theme is recurring in your life, you're probably a crystal. So crystals will, you know, a lot of crystals, and in my work I've had a lot of clients as crystals clients, and I see this pattern with, you know, abusive relationships, attracting abusive partners, physical, emotional, sexual abuse, because the crystal will stay in a spiritual state, stay in a very compassionate state with the other person. But this can be totally abused, and it's something that as crystals we really have to be aware of. We have to constantly check in with ourselves and say, how am I feeling? How am I being treated? Am I being respected? Because the usual normal set of boundaries that most people have, and that assertiveness that most people have, can be quite lacking in crystals. But on the plus side of that, we make amazing healers, amazing therapists. We're brilliant in one-to-one work with helping people grow and thrive and expand. With energy work, you know, we're wonderful with our hands, because we have very, very activated chakras in our hands. So we really make good, you know, we're brilliant with massage, with healing touch, energy healing. Often make brilliant readers, tarot readers, angel readings. You know, as I said, very, very psychic, very in tune. And what else? So yes, I said about the plant-based diet. We often, as children, we have a lot of allergies and things like that, and it's not even that they can be translated as allergies by our parents and people around us and stuff, but it's actually just, we're so sensitive that anything that's not in its natural state, so food that's very processed, certainly animal products, food that has, you know, that doesn't have a high vibration in the food, won't agree with us. It just won't, because it doesn't match our fine, sophisticated energetic system, and we need to honor that. And again, I'd say as early as possible, the sooner a crystal can accept and embrace that they have this fine-tuned energy system and aura, and just respect that and love and embrace that, because that's your, you know, that's your superpower. That's what you're here to use. You're here to use your sophisticated, intuitive energy for the benefit of mankind, for the benefit of other souls, and also for yourself. And when you learn to work with your natural state instead of pushing against it, and actually just, you know, accept that you are going to feel better when you have a really good diet of whole foods, lots of fruit and vegetables, whole grains, that kind of thing. And, you know, you do need to get your exercise. You need a lot of movement, because being such high emotional beings and being absorbers, we can often take on a lot of energy around us, and that can really weigh us down. You know, we have quite large auras. Crystals have big energy fields, and the reason for that is so that we can do the work we do, so that we can do our healing work, so that we can be the carers and the givers and the emotional sponges that we are. We kind of clean up energy. Crystals can walk through a space, just literally walk through, and because of the frequency that we are naturally radiating, we clear and clean up energy. So a lot of people, a lot of other non-crystals will be very attracted to that, to your energy. You'll find that if you go to a party, or if you're going into a group for the first time, or a social event, people will be quite drawn to you. They won't quite know why, it'll be quite subconscious, but it is because they can sense in your energy field that you're caring, that you're non-judgmental, that you're a lover, you're a loving person. Because crystals, that clear, pure energy is very attractive. What else is there about crystals? Highly intuitive. So yeah, definitely, you know, crystals will often pick up when you might be miles away from a friend, but you'll pick up that they're going through a rough time, and you'll know to make that phone call. You'll say the right thing at the right time. You know, we are channels, and again, we were called crystals. We were prophesized as, you know, that was the name. We're the second wave of souls coming in. We're called crystals because it is crystalline. Our frequency is clear. We are very, very clear. So we have to respect that. We can't do drama. We don't want to do drama. It doesn't agree with us. It causes terrible stress in us. We need clarity. We need clear relationships. We need upfront honesty, sincerity, honor. We love to be honored, and we love to honor. You know, being the old souls that crystals are, we really have to surround ourselves with very sincere people. We like transparency. We don't do bullshit. We don't do, as I said, drama. You know, drama will just seriously stress and mess up the alignment for a crystal. So because of that, we really have to be mindful and be, we have to be thoughtful about the environments we put ourselves in. We can't just have any old job, live in any old house, share with any old people. You know, we don't do casual. We're not good at chit chat and casual relationships. We're deep. We're intense. We are an intense energy. We love laughter. We love fun. There's a strong childlike energy to the crystal. We were called the crystal children. You know, there is definitely a childlikeness there that is wonderful. But you know, we don't thrive in high stress environments. We really have to carve out a lot of personal space. Yeah, that's another thing. Crystals need a lot. We need a lot of our own time, a lot of our own solitude. Because we're absorbers, because we're so intuitive, if we're constantly around a lot of other people, we start to kind of take on that energy and soak it up, and it starts to get confusing with our own, or it can be just uncomfortable, you know, because you just want that clarity to be your own, have your own perspective, and to really be in tune with your own feelings. And for me, that was the turning point when I started to embrace solitude. And like, I've always enjoyed my own space and my own time. I've never been someone who, and obviously I'm a crystal, I've never been someone who needed to constantly be around people, or needed a lot of attention from others, or needed a lot of validation. I've always thrived having my own space. I'm a social person. I love people, and I love meeting friends and family, things like that. But in a very tempered way, you know, in a way that's very balanced. And I would definitely need more alone time than I would people time. So that's another element of being a crystal.